Ted Stilson, I'm the managing coordinator for the Downtown BRZ, and today we're just going to take a little walking tour of the downtown core, and I just wanted to show a little bit of some of the historic buildings that make the downtown very unique. So the first building we're going to walk to is the Telegraph Building, which was built in 1937, and this was one of the first buildings that we worked on for the Lethbridge Mainstreet project. The Lethbridge Mainstreet project has been in downtown Lethbridge since 2000. And what the Mainstreet project does, it provides funding to property owners of historic buildings. And so what we've done with that is we've been able to work on close to 27 buildings in the downtown core, and this was the first one that we worked on. And, it's now the home and has been the home for the downtown BRZ, the Business Revitalization Zone, and the Lethbridge Mainstreet project since about 2002. Great little building with a lot of history. As you can hear, there's music playing over at Galt Gardens. There's always something going on at Galt Gardens. Today, Communities in Bloom is having their annual judging, and so they've invited some of the judges that have come from all over Canada to partake in a little bit of musical celebration in Galt Gardens Park. So that's what you're hearing in the background. We're just going to be walking over to the Acadia block building. Much of the original facade on the second story is still original, much as it was at the turn of the century, 1914, when the building was built. There was a fire on the main floor which destroyed a lot of the original fabric, and so we tried to recreate the building in 2004 using historic archival photos. And as you can see, some of the door placements and some of the configuration is a little bit different than it was at the turn of the century, but if you look up on the second floor, you can see original windows, original masonry work, and it's currently going through another renovation. The upper floor has been vacant for the last 4 years. So now we're heading from the Acadia block, the Dove Christian building. We're heading over to right across the street to beautiful Galt Gardens Park, which has been underutilized for a number of years, but life has really been brought back to it starting last year when the Rotary Centennial Plaza was open in June of 2008, and it's just almost instantaneously brought new life back to Galt Gardens and to the downtown core. This sculpture that was commissioned by the City of Lethbridge through the Heart of Our City initiative through the master plan, it was commissioned and done by a local artist, Andy Davies, and all three of these, actually there's 4 pieces to it, all move with the wind and bring a little bit of color and life to the downtown core. So the one sculpture on the right signifies a ribbon. So when the wind isn't blowing, it usually comes back to that ribbon shape. This is obviously a flag shape. The green one is a chair, and the dog down on the ground here is supposed to be interactive, so people can come around and reform the dog. And take it apart. So again, nice little piece of public art for the downtown core. So this pathway that we're walking on is also part of the Centennial Rotary Plaza. Part of the initiative was also to complete the second phase of the pergola that was built. The first phase was built in the 1980s, and it acts as more of the public band center. We have movies in the park and different events taking place. As you can see, Communities in Bloom events taking on there right now. And you're hearing a little bit of music right now. The Rotary to Centennial Plaza is programmed to music, so each of the bursts correspond to the music that are playing, and it changes on a regular shift. And again, this is very unique to most cities of this size and probably even larger cities, is a large central park that's been in our downtown since the beginning of our city. And again, it's gone through a lot of different changes, but I think new life is back. As you can see, there's a lot more people coming to the park. So now we're just going to exit Galt Gardens Park, heading west, and we're going to be heading to the #1 fire hall. We're just going to be passing the Lethbridge Hotel here, which unfortunately a lot of the original fabric of that building was removed back in the 50s. And so what we've done with the Lethbridge Hotel, it's the longest continually operating business in Lethbridge. We're right at the #1 fire hall now, which beautiful building, still very original. And it's been used for a number of different things over the years. The most recent is Hypnotic, a restaurant and lounge on the main floor. In the basement, it's home to the Potemkin 2 Artists Collective, who have a number of studios down in the basement. If we went down into the basement, you'd see the original jail cells that were part of the fire hall at the turn of the century. And again, there's a lot of history attached to this. Into Chinatown now, primarily on the south side of the street. Nakagamas, not Chinese, but the Nakagama family has operated quite successfully with Japanese food and different types of supplies for sushi, sashimi, and basically a little bit of Japan right here in downtown Lethbridge. These are, again, some of the few remaining buildings here. This was the original Chinese Opera House building. It's now used as a yoga center. We're working through the Mainstreet project now to do a fix-up of this building. Now we're going to be walking over to the Union Bank building, which was a landmark building since the turn of the century. One of many bank buildings in the downtown core. It's had a number of tenants over the years, but again, what's happening in the downtown core, and which is very exciting for our downtown, is the fact that the majority of the buildings in the downtown core were in the hands of just a few landowners. Now, a lot of people have picked up these buildings and have established businesses in them. This is Express Coffee and Tea. Total renovation of the interior of the building. The exterior has been restored using a lot of the original elements. So directly behind me right now, kitty corner to the Union Bank building, Express Coffee, is the Club Cigar store building. What you're probably looking at right now is a good recreation of the original building, although using different materials. This building, although looks like the original building, is completely different in the fact that the material is now Medex versus pressed metal. The Alec Arms Hotel, originally the Alexandria in downtown core. This was another Mainstreet project that was just finished a couple of months ago. It's a very unique building in the fact that this was one of the original hotels, landmark hotels in the downtown core. Had a lot of history attached to it, had one of the most popular restaurants in southern Alberta at the turn of the century that everybody came to, which was in the basement. And when you're looking up at some of the material up there, with the exception of the windows, that's all original material, including the signage at the top, the balcony. What we did with the property owners, we looked at archival photos and were able to recreate the original storefront, including the placement of the doors. Even the original stained glass, which was lost at some point in the history of the building. We were able to, working with the Galt Museum, take very close views of the original stained glass that was on the building, and we had a local artisan recreate the original stained glass. Okay, we're heading towards the post office building, which is one of our most significant landmark buildings in the downtown core, built in 1910, just prior to World War I. Right across kitty corner to the post office building is the old Royal Bank building, which is now home to Esquire's Coffee Shop, which is also made out of Tyndallstone, which is a fossilized material, which when you get up close to it, you can actually see some of the remnants of fossilized material in that. So thanks for taking some time out of your day to take this video tour of the downtown core. We're open at the BRZ office to take you on a private tour if you're interested. All you have to do is call the downtown BRZ office at 327-9002. My name again is Ted Stilson. I'm the managing coordinator for the downtown BRZ and the Lethbridge Mainstreet project, and I hope you take some time to give me a call and to let me take the time to show you around downtown Lethbridge, our downtown that we're very proud of. Thanks.